I'm a big advocate of men taking care of their kids. So if you don't take care of your kids, this video's not for you. This video is for the man that takes care of their kids but are uninformed about the child support system and can't afford to pay it. So today, we're gonna learn from the lead attorney about how to pay less in child support, and we're starting right now.
Rim low on my fitted, dreams has always been vivid. I'm just trying to go get it, catch me right around and I'm ignorant. I'm just rolling.
I'm going to give you 5 rules on how to pay less child support. You will want to stick around until the end of this video to hear rule number 5 especially, because I talk about some of the stupid mistakes that parents make on their own that cause them to pay more in child support. So you definitely want to hear that rule. But I'm going to go ahead and quickly address these rules, which will stop you from overpaying on your child support, and then I'll send you on your way. Let me say this though before we begin. I've been handling family law cases for over 2 decades, so I know what's going on behind the scenes. That's the point of this video, to expose the system. But we are talking about just that, the system. What we are not talking about is advice on how to sign away your parental rights so you can spend every dime on yourself and your kids can go to hell. If you've got 6 kids and don't care whether they live or die, then fuck you. This video is not for you.
I just want to touch on that point because the internet will make you think women are out here trapping guys. But most of the time, they were dating or hooking up and they had a kid. Then it didn't work out. For whatever reason, it just didn't work.
Now, what we are talking about is how to pay less child support in this system. This system is designed not for fairness, but for maximum monetary extraction. When you pay more than what is fair, you have overpaid. Child support should be about the best interest of the children.
He did a great job with this video, but I want to sum some of it up. He explained how paying too much child support can be harmful for the child, because if you can't afford child support, they take your license away. So now you can't get to work. If you can't get to work, you lose your job. And if you lose your job, you can't pay. And if you can't pay, they lock you up for being in contempt of court because the judge ordered you to pay, but you can't. So they lock you up. And now you can't even see that child. So how does that help the child? The truth is, it doesn't.
Rule number 1, hire an attorney. You have to get an attorney. Yes, attorneys are expensive, but they pay for themselves. They will ensure that the child support calculations are accurate. If your child support calculations are done correctly, then you will not overpay. A miscalculation in your child support will cost you thousands of extra dollars. Listen, say you overpay by just $75 a month, and $75 is just a dinner at Chili's or TGI Fridays or Outback, wherever. It's just one dinner. If you overpay by that one dinner every month, then over 18 years, that totals to more than $16,000 that you will have wasted because your child support calculations were not accurate. An attorney would have caught that mistake, and no attorney is going to charge you $16,000 for a child support case.
Unless it's contested. I looked it up, and according to Skyview Law, the average cost of a child support case is $2,500 to $5,000. However, contested cases could cost anywhere between $5,000 and $25,000. But in most cases, if you're not rich and your baby mama isn't a gold digger like these rappers and athletes, $2,500 to $5,000 sounds about right. Especially because
these cases are not complicated. They are not murder cases. You do not need the lead attorney or even a superior attorney for your child support case. Hire a reasonable lawyer that you can afford. How does the attorney assure that your child support calculations are accurate? There are credits that you may qualify for that reduce your monthly child support amount. You do not know some of these credits exist. Your lawyer will know. And even if you did know all of the credits, you would not know which credits you can legally claim. Imagine doing taxes by yourself with a pen and paper. Are you going to get all of the credits and deductions? No, you will not. That's what H&R Block is for. That's what TurboTax is for. These are tools that you use so you do not overpay on your taxes. A lawyer is a tool that you use so that you do not overpay in child support. You help with the daycare for your child, that's a possible credit. You have other children besides the one in the child support case, possible credit. You have low income, possible credit. You see your child a large percentage of the time, Possible credit. There are numerous credits available to you. You will not get them by yourself. Also, an attorney will help you determine all of the income of your child's parent. Most child support amounts are calculated using both parents' incomes. When your child support amount is calculated, you will see that everyone wants to know what your income is, but no one is really concerned about the mother's income. They will demand evidence of your income amount, but will often take the mother's word for her income. This is critical because the less the mother makes in salary, the more you pay in child support. So the less she makes, the more you pay. So if your child's parent lowballs their income amount, then you will overpay in child support. Your attorney provides value in this situation because he will demand to see proof of the mother's income.
Back in the days, men worked and women stayed home. So when they broke up, the man paid a lot in child support. But it's not like that anymore. So find a woman with a career, and you won't have to worry about paying a ton in alimony and child support if things don't work out. So hire an attorney because your attorney won't
take the mother's word for it like everyone else. He will make sure that her salary is measured accurately. What happens if the mother does not want to show you any of her paperwork about her income? It's common. People play so many games, but your attorney is used to it. Your attorney will invoke the subpoena powers of the court, the discovery powers of the court. He will get the mother's bank records. He will get her pay stubs. He will get her employment records. He will get her tax returns. You do not know how to use the subpoena and discovery process. Your attorney does, and he will ensure that your child support obligation is calculated properly. That way you will not overpay. Get an attorney. Rule number 2, do not pay child support with credits. Some men like to buy their children gifts. That's nice, that's appropriate. Some of these men that buy their children gifts want a credit for the value of those gifts.
If you buy your kids stuff for Christmas, you take them school shopping, it doesn't count. Say it with me, fellas. It doesn't count. If your kid is asking for money, none of that counts. Now, you can give it to them, but it doesn't count towards child support. This next rule I thought was obvious, but I guess some of y'all are slow, so.
Rule number 3, do not pay child support twice. Listen. Some of you pay child support twice. You pay the first time, and then you pay again when you can't show proof that you paid the first time. Do not pay child support twice. If you pay twice, you overpay. Never ever pay child support by any method for which you have no proof. The parent of your child will not recall you giving her $700 last August. And even if she does recall, she doesn't recall.
Yeah, if you don't want the mother of your child to catch amnesia, then you better have proof that you paid. So, write her a check, pay by Zelle, Cash App, Venmo, anything that leaves a paper trail.
Rule number 4, spend more time with your children. You want to pay less in child support? Spend more time with your children. People who spend little time with their children often overpay in child support. There are 2 ways in which spending more time with your children decreases your support obligation. First, if you do not spend much time with your children, the mother can petition to raise your child support amount. This is because the mother has to spend more time with your child than contemplated by the legislature that created the child support guidelines. Consequently, the mother can request from the judge that you pay more to compensate her for the time that you are shirking your parental responsibilities. So if you spend little time with your children, judges can order you to pay more than the normal amount of child support. The second way that spending more time with your children decreases your child support amount is the converse of the first way. If you spend more time than usual with your children, then you are the one who can request a reduction in your child support amount. In fact, most fathers who have shared physical custody of their children and who spend equal time with them pay little to no child support at all. By spending so much time with their children, they do not need to write a check each and every month to the mother. That's nice, isn't it? So if you rarely see your children, you are creating a significant risk of you being forced to overpay. And you are also not availing yourself of the deduction that's available to you to decrease your child support.
Listen, fellas, if you have kids but don't want to spend time with them, well, you gotta pay. It's that simple. Being a father is one of my most important jobs that I've ever had. I wouldn't trade that in for anything in the world, let alone to keep a couple extra dollars in my pocket. But if I decided to not be a father and just pay child support, am I losing money? Well, let's find out. Google child support calculator and your state. Let's say you made $100,000 and had one kid in New York. You would pay $15,300 a year, which is a lot of money, right? Wrong. My one kid's daycare bill in New York costs about $19,000 a year, which I split with my wife, so that's $8,500 right there. What am I giving her? $7,000 for rent, food, and clothes? Fellas, that's pennies. But let's say you don't pay for daycare. If you made $100,000 a year, you make $50 an hour. $15,300 divided by 12 months a year is $1,275 a month, or 25 hours a month. At $50 an hour, that's 1 day of your time, a month. And most guys don't make six figures. I knew a guy that paid $150 a month for 2 kids because he worked a fast food job, and he was complaining about that $150 a month. The truth is, the more money you make, the more child support you pay. So be smart and don't make stupid mistakes.
Rule number 5, do not make stupid mistakes. The 5th and final way to pay less in child support is not to shoot your own self in the foot. I've been practicing for about 20 years, and I've seen people make mistakes which have cost them tens of thousands of dollars. I will tell you about 3 of these mistakes. Do not make any of them. The first way that people shoot themselves in the foot, they open up child support cases on themselves. Now, why would you do that? Why would you invite the state to look over your shoulder each and every month? If your child's mother opens up a case against you, either because she filed directly with Child Support Services or because she asked for government aid, then the case is open against you, and that's fine. You can't do anything about that. But why would you do that against yourself? Fathers who do this say, well, I opened up a case against myself because I wanted proof that I paid the child support. Listen, I just told you how to have proof of your child support payments in rule number 3. Bank account deposits, Cash App, IDOs, Venmo, personal checks, PayPal, pick away. All of these methods leave a paper trail which will prove that you made these payments. You don't need to open up a case against yourself. Now, and this is even worse, some fathers, when they're sitting in your office and you ask them why they opened up a case against themselves, they'll tell you, well, I just wanted to show everybody that I was responsible. Whatever. Why is opening up a case against yourself so bad? Let me ask you. First, listen, life's hard, things come up, sometimes you're short on money, I understand. So what happens to you if you fall behind on child support and there's no case open against you? No case. What's gonna happen to you? You're gonna start to get a lot of phone calls and texts from the child's mother, and that's gonna get annoying. Okay, now, what happens to you if you fall behind on child support and there is a case against you? Oh, you don't get those calls anymore. Now you get letters. You get a letter in the mail saying that you owe interest on the back child support. You get a letter saying that your driver's license has been suspended. You get a letter saying that your tax refund has been intercepted. You get a letter saying that your coronavirus stimulus check has been intercepted. You get a letter saying that there's a warrant for your arrest. You need to turn yourself in by 4:30 on Friday. Why did you get all of these letters? You could have just gotten the texts and the phone calls, but you wanted to be responsible. Do not open up a case against yourself. Now, the second way people shoot themselves in the foot is by volunteering to pay more in child support. This in itself isn't wrong per se, but it's the manner in which they volunteer. Suppose your child support should be $600 a month. You want to pay $800 because you love your child and the mother's cool. She doesn't give you any problems. She lets you see your kid when you want, and she doesn't start any drama with your new girl. It's all good. So you're supposed to pay $600, but things are going well at your job, so you want to pay $800 a month. Here's the correct way to proceed. You get the judge to order your child support amount is $600, and then you pay the extra $200 on the side. $200 and $600, that's $800 in total. That's perfect. That's what you wanted. Now, listen, what's the wrong way to do it? Your child support obligation should be $600, and you tell the judge to go ahead and set the amount at $800. That was a costly mistake because now you will be forced to pay that extra $200 per month until your child turns 18 years old.
So if you lose your job or fall on hard times, instead of you only having to pay $600, now you're responsible for $800, which is gonna play right into his third point, which is to pay less to pay less.
You need to pay less to pay less. Pay less to pay less. What does that mean? Say you owe $800 this month in child support and you're short. Okay, you don't have it. What should you do? Many men pay nothing. That is a mistake. You need to pay less than the original amount, but pay something. Pay less, but pay something. What happens when you pay nothing? You are risking a contempt case where the mother hires an attorney who files a petition in court. If you give the mother something, she will be more inclined to work with you. Believe me when I tell you that she does not want to spend money on hiring me. Not when Macy's just got the new summer collection of Michael Kors bags. But if you do not pay this lady anything for months on end, she's gonna get sick of your She's gonna hire that attorney, and now you're in court on the witness stand. And further, since you have paid nothing, the judge will in all likelihood order you to pay the mother's attorney's fees. This could be anywhere from $2,500 to $10,000. That's what I call overpaying. If you had given the mother $150 a month, $100 a month, anything, the judge would have seen that you were trying, that you wanted your damn kids to eat. You would not be in jail missing work, which means missing money, and you might not have to pay the attorney's fees.
Another tip that you guys need to be aware of is, say you do go through hard times, get an attorney to help you get your child support modified. If you try to do this alone, the courts may take a while to modify it, putting you in debt, causing you to lose your license, and eventually getting locked up. So get an attorney and check out my other child support debate video. It's not as informative, but it will give you 3 different perspectives on child support. Oh, and if you've made it here and you're not a subscriber, click the button. I've created value to you, and I would love it if you showed me that thanks by subscribing. I'm out.